Now, another mock draft that was recently released, Pro Football Focus's Seth Galina. He has Kwity Paye from Michigan slip into the Browns at 26, and I think that's a guy, if he's there, Andrew Berry might swim the card up to the thing on Lake Erie there to get Kwity Paye at 26.
I mean, at this point, he might have Paul DePodesta just run it himself all the way from Berea. But I think Kwity Paye is a solid addition, and I think that he's somebody who is still developing as an edge rusher. But, I mean, obviously, given the additions of Takk McKinley, I think that they still have a shot at Jadeveon Clowney bringing him in. So all of a sudden, then, it opens you up to where you don't necessarily have to take a guy who can perform day one or has to perform day one. You can go ahead and take somebody who can maybe be a little bit more situational. And at that point, too, you all of a sudden mix in a lot of those guys who can just develop for you, maybe not necessarily make as much of an impact day one, but year 2 and 3 are going to be paying off dividends for you in the long run.
And Paye is a guy that some people have ranked as the top edge rusher. So, again, there's that wide range in edge rushers, and in part because there's a lot of guys that you're trying to project who's going to end up developing, being the highest ceiling, if you will.
Right. And especially, too, like one case as well is Jason Oweh out of Penn State. Obviously didn't have a sack this past season, but is still relatively new to the game. Obviously only about 5 years or so in football currently. But he's somebody where, again, if you get that Jadeveon Clowney to sign with you, or you sign a Melvin Ingram who's still on the market, you bring those guys in, all of a sudden they can go ahead, take their time, learn the position, learn from Myles Garrett, learn from these guys, and really hone their skills. To all of a sudden, then you can have them breaking out year 2 and 3, and you all of a sudden look like a genius for taking these guys late in the first round.
So the same mock draft by Pro Football Focus as Seth Galina has Marvin Wilson, defensive tackle from Florida State, as the second-round pick for the Browns. Now, it's kind of interesting they signed, the veteran, but it's a one-year deal with Jackson. So I can see where they would look for a young defensive tackle in this draft as well.
Yeah, I expect them to address the interior defensive line here during the draft at least once, if not twice, because obviously you got Jordan Elliott last year, but you have Sheldon Richardson, who's on a one-year deal. Andrew Billings is coming back. He sat out last year on the COVID list. For him sitting out, he comes back. He's only a one-year deal. You mentioned Malik Jackson as well. He's a veteran option. He's still a one-year deal. So you don't have a lot of guys who are under contract going forward at the position. So I do expect them to address the interior defensive line. Marvin Williams is somebody who's an interesting case for them. Obviously, didn't have as much production last year at Florida State, but, not many people did at Florida State. So, it could make sense to bring him in early in round 2. Bring him as a defensive tackle. And obviously, like you mentioned, there's a ton of options that they already have. Even though they're short-term deals, again, you don't have to worry about these guys producing on day one, and you can have them take their time with their development.
And then that same draft, third round, and this is an interesting guy, linebacker Jamin Davis from Kentucky. There are some mock drafts that have him going to the Browns in the first round. So that's another guy that just a wide variance from first to third round as to where he might go.
Yeah, Jamin Davis is another one who, he can really cover sideline to sideline. He's what you want at that middle linebacker position. And, I know that we talk about the dime package. And again, for those who don't know, that's 6 defensive backs on the field and then 4 defensive linemen with just 1 linebacker. Jamin Davis could be that guy where you can have him cover that middle of the field and really cover sideline to sideline for you. And, like you said, I mean, I've seen him go as high as the first round. I've seen him, go as low as the third in some mocks. I tend to think he's going to go a lot higher than, people are expecting. I do think he's going to be in that day 1, day 2 range, early day 2 range, I should say. Especially his testing at his pro day was phenomenal. And obviously, given what he was able to show on the field this past year, especially in the SEC, I think that he's somebody who really could make an impact early on in his career.